recharge the batteries and ready to deal with this week. Always something to deal with, right? You gotta keep on keeping on, as we used to say back in the day there. Because what else you gonna do? If you don't keep on keeping on, you're gonna be left behind. So, how's everybody doing? You making the best of it? It's it's Monday. I know it takes a little while to get geared up here, but we'll do it, right? I hope you're keeping in touch with all that's going on. Seems to be kind of a busy time in Cayman. So many things happening as far as as consultations and this and that. And if you want to bring something up, go ahead and do it right now. You can give me a call. We're gonna hopefully have some guests later on, but right now we can talk about this or that. Give me a ring on 1-800-534-8255, and you can also reach the studio. That was courtesy of Flo. And you can also reach the studio at 949-8037, 949-6990. And, of course, WhatsApp, 925-3261. And let's see if we can check out some of these bills here. If I can navigate myself through these this website here. Thought I had it all lined up here, but technology, it's great when it all works out, right? A number of things on the table to be looked at. Of course, we have the Tenancies Act that is coming before Parliament, and that's to do with landlord and tenants, and I think a lot of people are interested in that one. Just because there's so many people in a situation where they are renting, and knowing the ins and outs of all these things is something that a lot of people don't know, and sometimes people end up being taken advantage of, and also on the other side, from the landlord side, you rent to someone who doesn't care about how they live, and they leave your place trashed, basically, right? You go inside and you can't believe what has happened. Then you've got tenants who complain that they're not getting deposits back. Landlords don't treat them, with any kind of respect, or, But I think one of the major ones is the return of deposits, and even though everything went, you've left the place in good shape, you gave notice or the lease ran out, and you decided to move on, and you can't get that deposit back. You hear a lot of that, and landlords come up with all sorts of different excuses, whether they make up things that where they say we had to keep the deposit to do this and that because or they just, as you would say, stiff the people, right? You just refuse and hope that they will just get tired of trying to get it. Well, this act is going to address a lot of situations. We do have a caller on the line. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Day, Mr. Charles.
Yes. How are you doing?
Oh, not bad. This is the poet.
Uh huh.
Mr. Charles, I am not, I wouldn't say I'm a mind reader or such, but I can imagine people having, like, little young people and maybe some other people that come to the island that have like little financial difficulties and stuff like that. And wondering if they should do a crime or not.
Wondering if they should do a crime.
Yeah, like to try to help themselves uh, to gain finances and stuff like
Why
that.
wouldn't they do that instead of getting a work permit?
No, 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 no. Life is more sophisticated than that. But people do sometimes do crimes. But what I want to say today, I want to be of service to my country and to tell these people who might be thinking about doing crime, just like what the police would say, don't bother to do it. Just hang on. God will work things out. You don't have to rob or steal or anything like that. Like I say, I'm not a mind reader, Mr. Charlo. But
I don't think any of us are.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, sometimes you have to try to give a little advice before things happen, and at least you know to yourself that you said something and it came across to somebody. Because sometimes I meet a lot of foreign children, and they say they hear me on the radio, and a lot of Caymanian children say they hear me on the people saying that they heard me on the radio and stuff like that. So I might as well try to pass a good message and to be of good encouragement and to discourage people from doing criminal activities and stuff like that. Maybe you might have somebody might be planning to do this or do that, but my I would encourage them to do the right thing. Don't bother
Always.
with don't bother with any kind of crime or anything like that to make money. God will work it out. You know what I mean, Mr. Charlie?
Yeah. Crime never pays, right?
No, 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 no. And then no, the thing is too, we as people, we might want to be like Jonah in the Bible and don't want to pass the message on to the people that need to hear it. But there comes a time when you need to say it and let the people know. Listen, the right track is 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 the way to go. Don't do wrong things. Um, and that sort of thing, to try to get by in life, because sometimes you hear about crimes that happen, and and uh, and and maybe you could say something and pass a message to the person before they do the crime, and you might discourage them because I mean I've seen people discouraged from doing crime, so that's my message today to try to reach out to them. Both both the foreign people that come here and the local people. Don't bother with that. Like I say, I'm not a mind reader,
Okay.
but
Okay.
yes, sir.
But yeah, let's all you know stay on the straight and narrow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, you take care. Have a good afternoon.
Okay, sir.
And we're going to take a little break. Be right back.
Did you know that you can send money transfers to financial institutions anywhere in Jamaica with JN Money?
You mean I can send money straight to my account and cut out the middleman?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. You send your own money to your own account, giving you peace of mind that the money is in your account.
JN Money Transfers to Financial Institution is another convenient service offered by JN Money. You can have this done from any JN Money location. Deposit your money straight to your account without the hassle of asking someone to do it for you. JN Money Transfers to Financial Institutions, making life easier.
Hey, new drivers, don't just drive, drive smart. Cynical and Inspire Cayman's Safe Driver program will show you how. Get real-life simulator training and classroom sessions to help you gain experience, stay alert, and avoid accidents. Learn to recognize risk, manage fatigue, and make smart choices behind the wheel. Certified participants may even pay less for Cynical motor insurance. Learn more and register at cynical.ky. Cynical, keeping Cayman covered.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
For 50 years, Radio Cayman has been the steady voice at the center of our islands. In every hurricane, every moment of uncertainty, it's the station we turn to for calm, clear, reliable information. So many of our musicians had their very first airplay right here, and our local sound continues to grow because Radio Cayman gives it a home. And of course, the talk shows, the heartbeat of our community. For many Caymanians, this has been the only place to share concerns, ask questions, and feel truly heard. None of this would be possible, of course, without the dedicated staff who have served this station for decades. Here's to 50 years of service and to many more years of being the voice of the Cayman Islands. I am Lorna Bush.
As Minister for Health, Environment and Sustainability, I'd like to personally invite you to join me at one of our upcoming public town hall meetings. We're discussing proposed changes to legislation covering environmental health, tobacco and vaping, public health, health practice, and I want to hear from you. Whether you have questions, concerns, or ideas to share, these meetings are an opportunity for open conversation about issues that affect us all. Join us at 6:30 p.m. on Wednesday, the 26th of August at the John Gray Memorial Church Hall in West Bay, or at 6:30 p.m. on Thursday, the 27th of August at Constitutional Hall in Georgetown. Come out, meet your neighbors, share your perspective, and be a part of shaping the future of health in our islands. Light refreshments will be available, and I look forward to seeing you there.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. Do we have a caller on there? No? Oh, yes, we do. All right, let's go to the phone lines. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Good afternoon, Charlo. Peter Schmidt here. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How about you?
I'm not, can't complain, thank you. Things could be a lot worse than they are, but anyway. Just calling in to say a thing about the hurricane-rated chicken coops.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it is ironic that we hear and see those of us that live in the outside gated communities. We can see some of the substandard housing that some of the guest workers or maybe others as well, who knows, that some people have to live in because that's the only thing they can afford to pay rent for, because any other more superior accommodation is unaffordable for those that are in the lower echelons of the income level.
Mm-hmm.
But yet we and that seems to be accepted. because I don't think anybody want to say, well, we don't know about it, so we can't say anything about it. I think the building control, planning, the responsible government officials, they're all aware of the patches of substandard housing that is occupied by certain people that are, like I said, on a lower income bracket. So, but yet, we want to require chicken coops to be built to hurricane standards, and I find that ludicrous, to be quite honest. I mean, well, the reason why somebody would keep a couple of chickens near their home is because they're trying to save a few dollars on the grocery bill, which has become quite substantial, consuming a bigger and bigger share of most people's incomes, and yet the legislation exists that would make it almost prohibitive for people to have a chicken coop. I'm just waiting to hear now, since we had quite a few earthquakes, that it's got to be earthquake safe as well. I just feel that there ought to be a mechanism where if legislation does not exempt certain structures from the serious requirements and understandable standards to make buildings secure to the extent possible. But there ought to be a way to waive the requirement for a chicken coop, just like they clearly have paused the enforcement of the license plate, licensing and insurance on the electric bicycles.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems to work in some areas, and yet not in others. And I find that disturbing, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, some of you began talking about the substandard housing that some people have to live in. I wonder, if the people who put those up even go to planning. I suspect that some of them are just kind of thrown up and, no application was ever made. They're just kind of slipping through the cracks there.
I'm
behind the
sure
scenes, and probably not enough enforcement people to get around to go in and look at every building. But that whole chicken coop thing, and I don't think there's any kind of, at least from what I saw, I didn't look into it too deeply, but if there's a distinction between really a commercial, place that for somebody who's farming chickens, producing eggs or something like that, rather than someone who may just have a few chickens in their backyard that they keep in a coop.
Well, I agree with you. I think that's probably part of the problem right there, the lack of distinction.
Mm-hmm.
And it may also be something that has become more acute with the rise in the cost of living, that more people may catch some stray chickens and house them for a while to feed them on some good food and to clean them out. And then, like in the old days, I remember one time following somebody's advice, catching some young roosters and tying them by one foot underneath a papaya tree, because people told me that would tenderize the meat of the wild chickens. And,
yeah, okay.
and because it's known that the papaya juice, the milk from the papaya tree or unripe fruit, has a tenderizing effect on meat.
Mm-hmm.
if you buy tenderizer in a store, you will see where there is a biolectin in as part of the ingredient, because it tenderizes meat. So I know I did 3 young roosters like that, and I was able to cook them. They were still kind of tough, but so I think more and more people are actually now keeping chickens because of the cost of living. But the substandard housing part, I agree with you totally. People just throw them up, and mind you, sometimes people throw them up to just with sheets of plywood. They don't even bother making doors or windows. And then even additionally, some of them don't have any toilet facilities either.
Not even a floor.
Not even a floor. You're right.
I had an occasion to actually go into a place that was just a bunch of one room after the other, little shacks. Not even a floor. A dirt floor.
And I don't think that should be acceptable. I understand the dilemma is there's some people that if all they can pay is $250 to $300, if unfortunate as it is and as harsh as it sounds, if you cannot make enough money to sustain yourself in a human standard, a minimal human standard, then perhaps you shouldn't be here. You know, in all honesty, I find it difficult to reconcile living in comfort and having employed people that then have to live in those kind of circumstances because they are unable to get employment that would pay them more. So, and I really don't believe that the powers that be and are responsible for those aspects of our community don't know that this exists and where it exists, because it can also be a public health hazard.
For sure.
Else.
But as far as the chicken coop is concerned, I was also wondering, if you build a traditional chicken coop out of chicken wire, right? You know, just some posts in the ground and chicken wire.
Yep.
Would the wind would just go right straight through that chicken wire. It would not offer any resistance of any significance. So it might just stand up to a good wind.
Yeah.
Just the chicken wire.
I think the legitimate concern could be that if you have, for instance, corrugated zinc on the roof, you know, and as a roof.
True.
To keep the chickens dry. So I can understand the potential hazards, but it's still, I don't think that's regulatory overreach when you don't make an exception for those kind of.
Yeah, just something that you have in your backyard, kind of.
Yes.
Yeah. Again, if you put zinc on it, you would, have to really secure that well, because a flying piece of zinc is dangerous.
Oh, very, very dangerous. But with a big rock or so, it can keep quite a bit of weight on that.
True. Yeah.
Anyway,
there's always workarounds, right?
Yes, and you know, one of the things that I liked about Cayman, coming from an environment that is hugely regulated, where I originate from, compared to Cayman, mind you, compared to the Cayman of the late 60s, early 70s, where you could do things. You could, the small man could create a situation where he could get ahead. And that's how many of us did.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm grateful I was able to do that, so to where I can continue to supply my living without having to get any government help or anything at my age now.
Yeah, those days of starting something from nothing seems to be gone. You want to start a business or something today, you got to have so many things in place that cost a lot of money. That
Yes.
There's a lot of barrier to just starting, a little business.
Yeah.
But I guess that's progress, huh?
Well, unfortunately, it is. I think people keep calling for more regulation, more services, and the result is more bureaucracy, more government employees to regulate the whole thing, and more fees.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's
good to
all I
hear
got
from
for
you
today. Thank you. Same here.
Have a good afternoon.
Same.
We have to take a little break. We'll be right back.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning.
Ouch!
When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Cineco's parametric insurance after hurricanes is now available for motor policies. Fixed automatic payouts cover incidental vehicle expenses like fuel, cleanup, and minor repairs. No claims, no damage required. $200 for comprehensive policies or $100 for third-party policies. Available exclusively through Cineco and included with all new motor insurance policies and upon renewal for current policies. Visit Cineco.ky today. Cineco. Keeping Cayman covered.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. I'm going flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways. Offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
As Minister for Health, Environment and Sustainability, I'd like to personally invite you to join me at one of our upcoming public town hall meetings. We're discussing proposed changes to legislation covering environmental health, tobacco and vaping, public health, health practice, and I want to hear from you. Whether you have questions, concerns, or ideas to share, these meetings are an opportunity for open conversation about issues that affect us all. Join us at 6:30 p.m. on Wednesday, the 26th of August at the John Gray Memorial Church Hall in Westby, or at 6:30 p.m. on Thursday, the 27th of August at Constitutional Hall in Georgetown. Come out, meet your neighbors, share your perspective, and be a part of shaping the future of health in our islands. Light refreshments will be available, and I look forward to seeing you there.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and we've been talking, among other things, the Residential Tenancies Amendment Bill 2023, and that bill is proposing changes to improve the administration of residential tenancy matters in Cayman. The amendments are intended to strengthen the existing Residential Tenancies Act 2009 by improving dispute resolution, increasing transparency in tenancy agreements, clarifying responsibilities for landlords and tenants, and modernizing certain administrative processes. So apparently the 2009 legislation was never put into force, but it's been sitting there. And so what this bill is going to do is update that and ultimately have a Residential Tenancies Act in place. And some of the key points for this bill: governance and administration, establishing a Residential Tenancies Commission to replace the existing Residential Tenancies Commissioner. So you would have some sort of board as opposed to a single person, deciding these disputes. And this is strengthening the governance arrangements, accountability, annual reporting requirements, and clarifying the minister's role in residential tenancy policy. It'll also cover agreements and documentation, strengthening tenancy documentation requirements by introducing enhanced proof of identity, proof of ownership, and authority to lease provisions, while clarifying registration requirements for eligible long-term tenancy agreements. Yeah, I mean, how many times has someone signed a lease and no one ever stopped to say, can I see a driver's license so, we know that you are who you are? Or the person who's renting you a place, do they actually own it? Do they have the authority to rent this place? I don't know if this may have gone on in Cayman, maybe not so much, because of our size, but, when you're talking about like being in a big city, someone could be renting a place. They decide they're going to rent it to you, pretending that they own the place, right? But you don't know whether they own the place or not. And they take your money, they disappear, and someone then comes and says, what are you doing? You can't move in here. I didn't rent this place to you. The other tenant's gone, the guy I rented it to. So requiring both sides to have knowledge that the other party, one, that I'm renting it to the person who says their name is, Jim Smith. Is that what your driver's license says? And the landlord, is this really the owner of this property? Those things have, when you're getting into a lease, it's important to know that each party is legitimately representing themselves, right? So proof of ownership and proof of identity, that'll be something new. Rights and responsibilities, improving transparency and communication by requiring landlords to notify tenants, lost my place here, to notify tenants when a rented property is listed for sale, allowing internet service charges to be treated as tenant outgoings where agreed, and clarifying several rights and responsibilities within the arrangements. Updating the methods by which tenancy notices may be served, introducing additional service options where conventional delivery is not possible, and strengthening enforcement provisions through updated offenses and penalties. Updating the Residential Tenancies Act to improve administrative efficiency, support clearer processes for landlords and tenants, and ensure the legislation remains fit for purpose while reflecting modern residential tenancy practices. Tenants, landlords, property managers, legal professionals, business, community organizations, and members of the wider public are invited to review the proposed amendments and provide feedback before government determines the appropriate way forward. So, you can let your views be known on this, and that's what this whole exercise is about. So just to go over some of those points again, to make sure that each party knows that the other one is legitimate in what they're doing, and that's an important part there. And I thought I'd seen something concerning the deposit, and I'm trying to see if that is actually in this list here, which I'm not seeing, but I'd seen where the deposit had to be securely put away, and actually when it is paid back, that it would be paid back with interest. Not seeing that in this list here, though. Maybe that was something that initially was out there. But I don't see it in this ongoing list here. But you can go online here. You can look up a public consultation on tenancy amendments, and I gotta admit, in finding this morning, it wasn't as easy as it was Friday when I was looking at it, navigating to exactly where you want to go. And that was a point of discussion last week. And let's take this call before we get too close to the news here. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Mr. Glidden, how are you, sir?
I'm fine. Been a long time I haven't heard from you.
Sorry you missed me. That's nice to know. Charles, you got to be careful with what you say nowadays, because you might be labeled as fake news.
Fake news?
Yes, sir. No, why I'm saying that, because a couple of weeks ago, I think it was, you made a report saying that the United States military was low on ammunition.
Yeah, well, that's what's been coming out.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. You need to be careful that you'll be labeled as fake news, because you can't go by. Nobody should go by what the media tell you nowadays, because if you don't have a bit of common sense that you can kind of read in between the lines, because they're not going to tell you what they want you to hear and the truth. They can take out the bits that can make it look good and positive. So it always has to be from a negative standpoint that they want you to listen to them. So I don't get caught up in that, Charles.
Well, when more than one or two news sources are saying that, though, you more or less can take it seriously. But
No.
Listen, I'm up against the news. You want to make a point? Make it real quick, because it is 1 o'clock.
I'll call you back.
Oh, or you can hang on if you want.
All right. Okay.
All right. Let's go to the newsroom.
Radio station. Radio Cayman is the voice of the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
With your latest headlines, I'm Elizabeth Charles. The HSA Hematology, Oncology and Chemotherapy Center is temporarily relocating while renovations and equipment upgrades are completed at its current location. The unit is closed today. It reopens during regular hours tomorrow, August 18th, in the temporary transitional unit on the second floor of the Anthony S. Eden Hospital. The HSA says the center will operate from that temporary location until further notice. In international news, Reuters reports the United States is preparing to tell dozens of countries they must choose between United States and Chinese artificial intelligence initiatives. A State Department draft letter warns countries could be excluded from a U.S.-led coalition if they also join Beijing's competing framework. Reuters says the draft is addressed to 35 signatories of the United States AI Opportunity Statement. In other news, Uber and Zipline have partnered to bring autonomous drone delivery to Uber Eats customers. The companies say first deliveries will begin later this year in Zipline's existing United States markets. They plan to expand to dozens of cities and target 1 million drone deliveries a day by the end of 2029. Those are the latest headlines. I'm Elizabeth Charles.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
HSA's Orthopedic Clinic has relocated to the second floor of the Smith Road Medical Center. Our dedicated team of highly skilled orthopedic surgeons treat conditions ranging from spine to ankle injuries in adult and pediatric patients. We offer minimally invasive procedures from ligament reconstruction to hip and knee replacement. If you have experienced an injury due to sports or day-to-day activities, call 949-8600 and schedule an appointment with HSA's Orthopedic Clinic, now located at the Smith Road Medical Center.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
James Nathaniel Tibbetts, J.P., 1886 to 1967. Mr. Nat Tibbetts was a renowned shipbuilder, businessman, justice of the peace, and citizen of Cayman-Brac. He was loved and respected throughout the island and was often consulted by people facing crucial decisions and difficulties. With his father, James Tibbetts, and his brothers, Burdett and Ross, he built and sold 11 sailing ships during the early 1900s. After losing his right arm in his mid-40s due to fish bristle infection and the death of his brothers, Mr. Nat operated a store and pioneered in the production of soft drinks, supplying all 3 Cayman Islands for almost 25 years. His plantations provided employment for others, and provisions for his and his brother's family. Mr. Knott was a role model for his sons and other young men of the community, teaching them, along with the principles of carpentry, boat building, navigation, and seamanship, a good work ethic and the value of respect and perseverance. He and his beloved wife, Elsie Nee Hunter, with whom he had 7 children, set high standards for their family by emphasizing a Christian lifestyle.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
We were set to battle, and your Aunt Angie was leading the pack when...
Aunt Angie, what does this have to do with car damage?
Oh, right. Well, long story long. I took down the assassins and wound up inventing a new form of mixed martial arts. I became an international champion until one sore loser karate kicked my car. But I was covered with CG.
Covered for malicious damage and more. CG Britgay. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. Here's the weather update. We have a small craft advisory in effect. More on that a little later. Current temperature here in Georgetown, 92 degrees, but the feels like temp is 112. That feels really, really hot. Winds out of the east-southeast at almost 8 knots. With a relative humidity of 68%. And taking a look here at the forecast, well, the synopsis says a tropical wave, formerly designated Invest 92L. That was one of those areas of disturbed weather in the Atlantic that we were monitoring. That's moved into the Western Caribbean this morning and will continue to influence weather conditions across the region throughout today. Yeah, we had a good rain very early this morning. Increased moisture associated with the system will support generally cloudy skies with showers and thunderstorms expected to develop during the afternoon and particularly across Grand Cayman. So get that umbrella handy. As the wave continues to move farther away from our area, the pressure gradient will gradually weaken, allowing winds and seas to subside and marine conditions to improve, with the small craft advisory to be discontinued this evening. And talking about that small craft advisory, if you're going out in a boat, exercise caution over open waters, especially along the southern and eastern coasts. Sheltered areas within the reef may be, generally less severe, but be cautious all the same. And the forecast, it says tomorrow, but I'm taking this as tonight because it says temperatures will fall near the low 80s. That sounds like a overnight forecast. Partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers and possible thunder. Temperatures near the low 80s. Winds will be east to northeast at 5 to 10 knots and seas moderate with waves running at 3 to 5 feet. The next high tide at 1:15 this afternoon. That's coming up in just a few minutes. The next low at 7:16 tonight. Sunset at 6:50. The outlook is for a continued improvement in general weather conditions through late Tuesday. Thereafter, drier and more settled conditions are expected to prevail. And that's how things stand weather-wise. Let's go back to the phones. We have a caller who's been standing by there. Good afternoon. Are you still with me?
Yes, Charles, I'm still here. Just picking up on where we left off. You did say if 2 or 3 media outposts report
Yeah, you're getting the same thing coming from 3 different sources, 4 different sources.
Yeah, you say that there's good chance that there's some truth behind it.
Yeah.
I hope them 3 them media's not NBC, CBS, and ABC. I mean CNN. I hope it's not none of them.
Now tell me, if it's coming from Fox, it's true, right?
No, I didn't say that. You didn't let me finish. If you want to watch good news, you watch somebody like Bill O'Reilly.
Okay.
Right? I mean, that guy is spot on all the time. The rest of them, I don't have a lot of. I used to really have a lot of confidence in Fox News, but listening to them lately, I mean, they're a little bit different from them other 3 nice ones that you just named, but not as bad, right? But so that's not where I want to go, Charles. I want to pick your brain, right?
Well, hold on. Let me getting back to news sources, right? I find that the wire services, are more dependent, really, because Reuters, Associated Press, because they're feeding everybody. Everybody's taking their news. All those, the TV and everything, they're getting news from Reuters because they have, reporters worldwide. So is Associated Press. And so they're feeding, the facts to these people. How they're then, broadcast or written about is another thing. But
Charles, a lot of them, use it and they put their spin on it, how they want it to sound.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Because Fox, Reuters is sending stuff to Fox also. Fox is getting information from Reuters. So is CNN. Anyway, you wanted to go on to something else.
Yeah, I want to pick your brain for a few minutes.
Oh boy.
Why it is that when a government of this country do a project, right, it costs an arm and a leg more. This is the old Caymanian way of saying things instead of using, like hundreds of millions of dollars. Why it is that when the government versus a private company on this island do a project, that the government project, right, costs 10 times more than your private company on the island. Why is that, Charles?
Well, I don't know exactly how much more would cost for a government project than a private sector.
Well,
but
hold on.
I think even though there's a bidding process, everybody says it's the government. Let's get them for whatever we can get out of them.
Yeah, I don't see the sense in that because that is only that bidding process. It's only something to get you where you want to be, and a lot of times what that can do is that you have someone in mind already that you want for this, but it's because you have to send it out at least 3 or 4 bids. You have to get 3 or 4 bids.
Yeah, but it has to go through a tendering committee also. I mean, it's not just a minister sitting up there and saying, I'm going to give it to this guy here.
Charles, let's not be blind to what is happening in this country, because every day that is happening in this country. People are selecting, whether they go through a bidding process or whatever the case may be, people have their person already selected to do the job. And why is it happening? I don't know, because I've been in construction pretty much all of my life. I see the in and outs, and I've heard and I've seen and I've experienced how these things work. And I know there's a lot of corruption. For instance, I go and get three bids, right, for one job.
Uh-huh.
And then I go to the third one. The third one say, well, if you can bring me the bid from the first guy or the second one, I will match theirs or go less with it. I mean, you know, that dirtiness have been going on in this country for years and years and years, right? So, but what I was kind of referring to is that I saw where the Scranton Park was, they cost that out at $10 million.
Yeah.
That was on CNS. They only put out a round figure. Why couldn't they give us, the people of this country, a little bit more respect of actually what the square footage of that building is, what the square footage cost came out to be, what the landscaping, what was the square footage of the landscaping around the building, how much the square footage did that work out? Did it come up to $10 million? No. No. That's where I'm going at. And then I saw something else recently, Charles, about where they're planning on extending their runaway.
Yeah.
That was on CNN some weeks ago. I can't remember exactly how it was labeled out. But apparently they got some company out of I think they say Canada and United Kingdom or something like that, and the cost for that was going to be like $1.5 million or something like that. For these people to come here that knows nothing about Cayman, right? And they're going to do a survey in order to tell you that, yes, you can go a certain amount of distance in the water and what has to be done, how it has to be done, and all of this kind of stuff. I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, you know, people that probably never been here, it would have made more sense to me, Charles, if they had got a company out of Florida, which is pretty much the same as what Cayman waters are all about. But no, this company, I tried to find it on CNS this morning, but I couldn't find that report to save my life, so I could have made more sense of it. But it was something to do with the extension of the runaway.
Yeah, I remember seeing it. I'm trying to find it right now, but.
And it just didn't make any sense at all to me.
But
you know?
but don't you think? I mean, that's probably some kind of engineering consultation company, right?
It is, Charles. You have to,
if you have engineers who are trained and experienced in doing that sort of thing, do you really think it matters if they're from Cayman or if they're from Florida? Even if they're from Canada or UK, that they look at what is there, what has to be done, and say, this is what is possible?
But, Charles, you need a certain amount of you can't just have practical without theory. You got to have theory and practical. They both work hand in hand, right? So,
well, I'm sure they would be looking at you know, the geographical makeup of the North Sound or whatever.
So they got to come here and learn on the job then, and they can get $1.5 million for that.
But is there somebody here that can do that? That has that expertise?
I'm sure there is. Or you could hire a local company and let them do it, right? And Florida would be the best place to select people like that, because Florida has the same type of vegetation as we have, far as the mangroves and the depth and all of this stuff that we have to deal with. Florida's pretty much the same. So that, to me, that would make a lot more sense if the company was from there, or they was representatives from Florida. But I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me, Charles.
Here's a story. Engineers selected for $1.5 million EIA for runways. They've awarded a contract for $1 million. Now they didn't round it off here. $1,498,140 to the Canadian Office of GHD-UK, an engineering firm based in England, to undertake the environmental impact assessment on the controversial plans to extend the runway at Owen Roberts International Airport and widen the runway at the Charles Kirkconnell International Airport.
Yeah.
But remember, these guys go all over the world. It doesn't mean that if they're based in the UK that's the only place that they've ever worked. These firms are international. They go all over the world doing these kind of things.
Yeah, that's probably like that university teacher that we had at the International College of the Cayman Islands some years ago. That he came here with all the documentation, all the degrees in the world that he needs, but yet he wasn't even nowhere near. He was a teacher, and you can't believe anything you hear anymore, Charles. I don't know if you remember that case many years ago.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay, and I mean, anybody can come from anywhere and say they're an engineer, they're this and they're that, right? And you know what? We get taken by it. We need to wake up, find a local firm here, and let it go through them. If it's anybody for it to fall back on, it'll fall back on the local company. But like I say again, you got to have blonde hair. You got to come in here now with a $15,000 suit, and this kind of rubbish to in order to to qualify it as this type of engineer or the other type of engineer. We can do better than this, Charles.
Yeah, but again, when it comes to these things, do we have the local expertise?
Charles,
I don't know. I know we have some engineering firms around, but are they capable of doing this kind of study?
Charles, when we had people like Bob Soto and the list went on, you know what we did? We refused to use them because they wasn't from overseas, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all of their knowledge that they was given to us was for free. Captain Paul, which is gone now and left us.
Yeah.
The knowledge that he has. But you know what? Up to this day, that man hasn't got recognized that I'm aware of for anything that he has contributed to this country and advice that he tried to give. This is what we're doing to our own people. We have people here that can work with different companies or whatever you need to do here. But let's do it through Cayman.
Well, if we have someone here to do it, then they should have the first shot at it. Just one little correction, though. You're talking about that teacher with the false qualifications. It was UCCI. I think you said ICCI. Let's just keeping things straight. Just keeping things straight.
The university up here, Walker's Road.
Yeah, UCCI.
I can't remember his name, but
well, we remember.
The guy was a fake, and he got this job.
Right? Well, that's one out of how many?
A lot of them. That's one out of.
He was, as it came out, he was a con man, right?
Yeah.
In more aspects than one.
There's a lot of stuff happening in this whole country, Charles, that, we need to wake up because our government, our people that we has elected for the last 30 or 40 years have failed us big times. I don't even call them politicians because they're not politicians. It's people we elect to run the country. They have failed us big times. And now, you know what? We are paying the price, right? We don't have no part of this country that we can call our own anymore because it's all being invaded and taken from us. We need to get a handle on what is happening in this country. We're going to hell, and we're going to hell fast. Somebody needs to do something. We need to get rid of a lot of the people that we can get a little bit of this country back for ourselves. Stop the construction boom. Slow it down. Right? That's what needs to do. We only have a certain amount of land left on this island to be able to be developed. and there's going to be nothing to your kids, my kids, or all of the other Caymanians that should be able to depend on their country to provide for them. Look at what is happening, Charles. We all see what is happening, and now I'm being told that right here next to me on Walker's Road, a 10-story building is going down. Are you serious?
If that's in the zoning, yeah, it's possible.
It's not in. It's not in the commercial. It's not in the commercial zone.
It's right on Walker's Road where you're talking about?
Yes. How can we allow this to happen?
Well, the zone must be there. I mean, if it's going to be, if they already have permission, do they already have permission? Do you know?
Why? Yes, they got the permission. It's been approved about a week or 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
They got the final approval for it. There was some holdback on something with some trees or something. I can't remember exactly, but they finally got their approval for a 10-story building. And all Walker's Road has is 2 little lanes. You can't even pull off the side of the road.
What part of Walker's is that going to be? What area?
It's just up from my little house here across from Maple Road.
Okay.
Apparently, them apartments up the road, they're going to all be torn down. I don't know if it's right there that's owned by the Marins, Duke and Marin, that big piece of land there.
Okay. Yeah.
That might be where it's going because, I mean, there's a bunch of apartments there and then there's quite big area land. So I assume that's exactly where it's going. So I was told that they're going to all be torn down and we're getting a beautiful 10-story building.
Well, that is, the way we've gone. But do you think that really stopping the growth is going to be, good for our people?
Charles, if we get rid of, let's say, 10,000 work permits, it has to be good for Cayman. It's nothing you can, even if it's not good, but it has to be good. So far as the negative part of it, not good, it has to be good if we can get rid of 10,000 work permits. Just that freedom of getting out there on the road and be able to take 10 minutes to go from A to B. Just that alone would be a big relief to we, the people of this country.
But you realize you're talking 10,000 work permits. That's, let's call it 10% of the population. That's a big chunk to go at one time.
That's the work permit population, not our population.
No, but I mean, we say the population is somewhere between 90 and 100,000, right? So.
Yeah, but what is the percentage of Caymanians? How much?
But I'm just saying that's a big chunk of the economy that you just get rid of.
But
what about who's going to fill all those jobs?
The job is not going to be here. We're slowing in the economy down.
Oh, so you take out the jobs also?
Yes.
The jobs would be gone with the work permits.
Yes. The island is being built too fast. We don't need all of this construction. If you want to come here to do an investment or something like that, right? Okay, you have whatever you want to have it, a list of or some kind of a program or whatever you want to call it. Okay, if you want to invest here, what we're looking at is maybe in 3 years' time, you might be able to get the permit for this project to be started or whatever, right? But to just let everything happen in one time, it's not. I'm not saying slow construction down completely. I am saying let's get control of the construction business, what is happening in this country. It's too much and it's too fast. Every little corner you look nowadays, there's apartments or some building going on. And the quality of these things is poor is PIFS. Put in some sugar, that is. they don't come any poorer than the quality of what we are producing in this country, simply because it's not done by Caymanians.
Well, listen, it's 1:30. That means I got to take a break. So.
Oh, well, thanks for that. Thanks for the 2 minutes, Charles.
2 minutes? All right, you take care. You take care.
Good afternoon. Thank
You have a good afternoon. We got a caller on the line. Just hang in there for me. We're going to take a little break. Be right back and come to the phones.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Explore your history. Explore your land. Explore your sister islands. The ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom. The land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your sister islands.
Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
It's that time again, K-Man. The Pursuit of Excellence Foundation invites you to our 8th annual Ready, Set, Learn Back to School event, helping our students start the school year prepared, confident, and ready to achieve. Join us in Grand Cayman on Saturday, August 22nd from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. at the Lion Center, and in Cayman Brac on Sunday, August 23rd from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. at the Ashton Rutty Center. Come out for an afternoon of free school supplies, backpacks, refreshments, fun activities, giveaways, and so much more for students and families. For 8 years, Ready, Set, Learn has been bringing our community together to support Cayman's young people. And this year, we're doing it again.
So parents, bring the kids, spread the word, and come get ready, set, learn.
August 22nd in Grand Cayman and August 23rd in Cayman Brac from 2 to 5 p.m.
Presented by Pursuit of Excellence, the Lloyd Barker Foundation.
Empowering our youth, supporting our families, pursuing excellence together.
On another place, but do on another story? From Pedro St. James and Fort George to John McLean Drive and Mission House, every corner of Cayman has a story to tell. Visit legendsbehindOurlandmarks.ky, explore the interactive map, and discover the people, places, and moments that shape our islands. Learn something new. Visit somewhere new. Find out where we from. Start your journey today at legendsbehindOurlandmarks.ky. Brought to you by the Ministry of Youth, Sports Culture, and Heritage.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. We have a caller who's been patiently hanging in there, so let's go to the phones. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Mr. Cello.
Hey.
Hello.
Yes. Good afternoon. How you doing, man?
Yeah, man. I just listening to this construction story here again, you know. Yeah, man. This morning I was by the administration building, man, early.
Yeah.
And I was looking across at the immigration building, you know, and after a while I just had to smile with myself and just walk away, man. Because certain thoughts coming in my head, and I don't really want those thoughts there. You know what I mean?
Keep the bad thoughts away.
funny thoughts, you know. Because I really can't change the situation, what's going on. But what the brethren were talking about, Chalo, I support him. I support him in everything he said, boss.
Well, you get rid of 10,000 work permits, bam, like that?
Well, the permit business, Chalo, I'll come into that. We'll deal with that. But about the corruption in construction, as long as construction going on here all over the world, you're not going to stop it. you're not gonna stop each other. It's a place. What I've seen out there, right, in 37 years, it's a place to be corrupted. It's a place to be crooked. You just gotta have the education to help you along with it. And when you're in a little small island like the Cayman Islands with no resources to really help themselves and things like that, it's a good place to use people. You understand?
Mm-hmm. You're talking about the industry in general.
Yes, yes. You know, I remember the Ritz, Archie Godfrey or Mark Alpine was supposed to do that project there. And I believe it all matters, you know, who will do it the cheapest and these things. So they end up with an American company doing the project. And I'm glad that I got the chance to really work with them. I learned a lot from them, you know, big international company, and they were a good company. I made some good money with them, man.
But they must have had some kind of Cayman partner or something, though.
Well, I don't know who was partnering who. All I know that company's name was Flora Daniel from the United States.
Okay.
Talking about builders, Charlo. Builders, man. Bill. They put that up the fast, and then things start to happen, and court work and all kind of things start to go on again, and they really never finished it. I don't know right now if some of that maybe not finished. You understand? But it was Olson Construction in Cayman Islands, based in Cayman Islands. I was working with them. And it was us who really started it, to drive the piles and things on the beach side, and on the beach side first. It was Olson Construction. That's how I got the job there. That's how I got to be there. When the Americans, or McAlpine, or Archie Godfrey, whichever one, would have built it. You know what I'm saying? But Archie Godfrey and McAlpine can build anything going down in the Cayman Islands today. How the money runs, I don't know. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
But them companies there are international too. They build anything. They not got the tools on Cayman Islands. They can bring all the tools here that they need to build anything here once the money is right. You understand? Yeah, man. So, like I say, the corruption shallow in this life today, when you really check out life today, you got some big guys running through Cayman Islands here, some big dollars running through this place here, boss, and I'm going to have time to really hold up, you know. Like I say, last week, you carry a set of plans to planning. They may tell you no, they may reject it. And you can carry it back first, second, third time too. But on that third time, them plans is going to pass and building will continue.
What do you say? You just keep trying and eventually they'll give it to you? Is that what you're saying?
Of course. Of course. But that's what it is.
But you would have had to change something in order to get that approval.
Listen, man, whatever you have to change, you change. Once you know you want to get it, you change. I see all that from Butler Building, you know, right on the 7 Mile Lane. You know,
but you're saying that when whatever made it fail the first time or the second time, if you correct that, then you can get it. Is that your point?
It will happen. It will happen. It will happen on the third time. Chances are the plan's gonna pass on the third time.
Whether you changed it or not, or I'm trying to make clear something here.
Well, I'm not going that far into it.
Yeah, because I mean, if you didn't change it, you shouldn't be getting it.
Yeah, well, like I say, I'm not going that far into it, but a third time is always good. It appears to me.
Well, I don't know. I saw a story the other day talking about how many times people come back to planning, you know, and they keep coming back and without any kind of substantial changes, and they're heard, but maybe they were refused again. And the point of the what I was reading was that, why do you even hear them? If they have not done any kind of substantial change and corrected what has been done, why even give them an ear?
Yeah.
They shouldn't even be accepted to present their plan again.
Yeah, man. Many things you could say that, but you really can't say that over the radio, because everyone have his beliefs and have his thoughts. You understand? But certain things you really can't say over the radio here. What about corruption? World over, all through the Caribbean, same thing. No big deal. And poor people selling the land and rich man putting up the buildings there and things like that, and causing all kind of trouble, blocking all kind of nice sea breeze and things like that. You can't do nothing about it because you don't have no money to fight it, to stop these things. You understand? So after you sell the land, you're not gonna more talk, man. Trust me.
Yeah, and people are selling their land. As we talk about, once again, this came up last week. We say land is being taken up by foreigners, but who is selling it? And some callers pointed out that the government does their share of selling land.
It's not going to happen in Cayman Islands, all through the Caribbean, here, brethren. All through the Caribbean, small countries getting used. Getting used because you can't help yourself. So this is what's going to happen to you. You understand?
Now, mind you, people have sold land, and the money that they've made off of it has, changed their life for the better.
Of course. Well, I mean, this is a big part of it. This is a big part of it. The change of life from being poor. You understand?
Yeah.
So, but, yeah, Cayman is just small. We don't have the resources to help ourselves. And we got to be used. We got to be used until we can't be used no more. I don't know if I could be around to see that, but that's the road that is on. You understand?
Yeah, it's the brave new world in Cayman.
Yeah.
In 2026. I mean,
yeah.
Just think back, in our generation, just 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Just 50 years ago, what this place was like, right?
Yeah, man.
But there's so many possibilities out there right now. I mean, you listen to some people and it's gloom and doom, but really, for young people coming up, if they get the education that they need, persevere and go after their goals, there's a lot of possibilities.
Yeah, man. Well,
but you got to prepare. You got to prepare yourself for it.
Yes.
Nobody's just going to hand it to you on a silver platter.
Right, but like what the brother was saying, sometimes you're preparing yourself for these, I forget the word, but to get good jobs in life and thing in the Cayman Islands, right, when you hear from yourself, somebody has got to work in that thing like that. You understand? Corrupted big time, man. Let me tell you. And I say, Chalo, something will happen here, Something will happen here with this money business on this Friday afternoon payday and things like that, and this work business going on here, and all kind of lies being told and things came and being taken for fools. And I'm talking about young people, Something will happen here, Chalo, bad, that they're going to talk about this for a very long time. You understand? But people know what's going on, but nobody not doing nothing about it. So, but brethren, I got to watch my blood pressure, man.
Yeah, don't get your blood pressure up.
No, I don't got no time for the signature, you understand? So later, I will talk to you.
All right. You take care. Have a good afternoon. It's 15 minutes to 2. We have to take a break. Stay with us.
Hey, new drivers, don't just drive smart. Cineco and Inspire Cayman's Safe Driver program will show you how. Get real-life simulator training and classroom sessions to help you gain experience, stay alert, and avoid accidents. Learn to recognize risk, manage fatigue, and make smart choices behind the wheel. Certified participants may even pay less for Cineco motor insurance. Learn more and register at cineco.ky. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
You know, as a little girl, I dreamt of traveling to faraway places and foreign lands. I tell you what though, no more dreaming. I'm going flying with Cayman Airways. How blessed are we in the Cayman Islands to have a very own national airline? Girl, you can fly to so many international destinations without the hassle of connecting flights.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering non-stop flights for non-stop adventures. For details and to book, call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Calling all small business owners. You're invited to Brand and Business, a free intellectual property workshop. Join the Cayman Islands Intellectual Property Office and the Cayman Islands Center for Business Development to learn how to protect your brand, avoid costly mistakes, and use intellectual property to grow and strengthen your business. Workshops will be held on Friday, August 21st at 3 p.m., Monday, September 21st at 3 p.m., Friday, October 23rd at 10 a.m., and Friday, November 20th at 3 p.m. Your brand is one of your most valuable business assets. Learn how to protect it. Register for this free workshop at cicbd.gov.ky.
Hello, Cayman. This is George. From April 1976, I've been tuned in, listening in, and calling in to Radio Cayman from the first time, the initial broadcast, and continue up until today. So I want to congratulate Radio Cayman and the whole entire staff.
Hold on a little bit longer.
If you're swapping out your old Candy Whack email address for a new one, Water Authority Cayman needs to hear from you. Take a moment to update your contact details with Water Authority Cayman. We don't want to lose touch with you, or for you to miss important updates about your water service. Visit our website, www.waterauthority.ky, and fill out the customer information update form today.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. And before we go to the phones, a quick note here on something we were talking about with another caller a ways back about the airport environmental impact assessment, and the company that was chosen to do it, GHD UK, and the discussion was whether they were able to do it because they weren't from here. But they are primarily an engineering company, and they offer environmental assessment services. So they have a specialty in that. And not their first time in Cayman. They were also used by the DART Corporation to produce a EIA for the Regen project. Let's go to the phones. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today. Hello, are you there?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, Raymond. Loud and clear.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, and to all our listeners here. We got 92 degrees temperature here on the bright, very hot day, as usual.
Yep, it's a hot one, all right.
Yes, sir. I want to talk about, well, first of all, the 4 affordable homes on the spot. Bay Bluff, nearing completion, just about completed. They got them closed up. Windows can close up, doors closed up. So that was one of the latest affordable homes project on Cayman Brack on the spot Bay Bluff, but it's sure far and a very long out the way place. Just about 2 miles away from the lighthouse, just west of where the Goat Farm Road is. Just past Jude Walton's house on the bluff, the late Jude Walton. That's where they're located. So they will soon be going to owners, new owners. I heard that they all 4 of them were already being taken up by people from Cayman Brack, or at least on Cayman Brack. 4 of them was being taken up. So that's the latest with the affordable homes projects on Cayman Brack.
It should be high and dry, that's for sure.
That's about 130 feet above ground level, but to get there is through that old snake track road like I talked about up there on the bluff. Oh, something I want to...
you have any idea how much they cost? They're affordable homes, but...
I don't have any much details on that.
Okay.
Yes, so we were talking about those dangerous curves up there on the eastern half of the Lighthouse Road. That's where the residents going to have to travel. I want to just tell the public what I seen up there. There was 4 young guys from America that was up at the lighthouse. They left at the lighthouse speeding, took off, floored the vehicle coming from the lighthouse going on the wrong side of the road.
Oh, boy.
And I took off and blowing my horn, flashing the lights, and I wouldn't go any faster than 35, 40 miles an hour. And they went out of sight of me. And I saying, oh, my heart was in my mouth, you would say. If anybody coming around those dangerous curves with those people coming on the opposite side of the road, what it would have been. But I didn't hear of anything. They made it safely. So that's why when we build roads on Cayman Brack, they need to be straight, not to be these nasty curves, because we are a tourist destination where people drives on the opposite side of the road. I has had encounters with that many times. Luckily, nothing happened with people coming straight for me on the opposite side of the road. So anyway, let's talk about the trade between United States and China.
Mm-hmm.
In the Cayman Islands, there are hundreds of thousands of gallons of corn oil, used cooking oil, even at the garbage dump here, Cayman Brack, hundreds and thousands of gallons over the years just stored there. Now,
Yeah.
United States...
I know a guy that I think he exports it for recycling.
Very good. Yeah, that's what we need to do from here as well. But talking about that now, I have communicated, and I know all about this worldwide trade, a lot about it. I have communicated with tankers the size of Rubis tankers loaded with used cooking oil from China going to New Orleans and to Houston to use it as a biofuel, mix it with other types of fuels, and for many other purposes. So America buying used cooking oil in tanker loads from China. And this is a very interesting thing. I have communicated with a ship passing here carrying 29 different rare earth metals, minerals from the ground in China to Gramercy, Louisiana, to offload that. And that will be taken to the factories in the United States. And some of everything you could think about for making sandpaper, grinding wheels, many things in the manufacturing products of America into their factories, buying these natural earth minerals from China. By the big shiploads, that was 70,000 tons of rare earth metals, minerals from China. And among it was some bauxite as well, and some chips for making the chips for the computers. which that's a rarity as well. So America and China is in a very big trade, and right now, I checked last night, it was like 75,000 containers en route coming to the East Coast of the United States and Texas and Louisiana and Alabama. 75,000 containers on ships, and probably 35,000 of those were coming from China.
Yeah, well, you got the two biggest economies, and they're going to trade.
Yes, and the price of the container shipments now, it's around $6,000 for a 40-foot container now from Shanghai, China to New York, or Shanghai, China to Miami, and it's $8,000 to get a 40, over $8,000 to get one from Miami to Cayman Brac. I think about $8,400.
And that'll drive up the price of when it gets to the store.
Yes, definitely.
Listen, I'm going to ask you to wrap up, though, because I got one more person before I get into the news.
Okay, fine. Good. All right. Thank you. Bye.
All right. Good to hear from you, Raymond. Let's take that other call. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Charles.
Hi.
I don't have much time, but it's good to hear what Raymond was saying here, but something that people knew, it started from Mr. Nixon's days of this opening up to China and realizing that there's,
money to be made.
Trade there and all that. As Calvin Coolidge, the president of the United States, said, silent Carl, the business of America is business.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. The people have got to understand how these things go. The money that talks, money that talks. Robert was saying here. The thing that you're talking about with Bermuda, I'm surprised you didn't know Bermuda long had that agreement with the U.S. that they would need no visas to go there. I
didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's still in force, I believe. We could get the same, but it's up to our elected representatives to pressure Great Britain. I think the Great Britain is going to say, no, you got to go independent. I don't think so at all. There's too much money here. Great Britain doesn't want to lose us with all that kind of money floating
Well,
around.
Bermuda would set a precedent.
We're in the same business. We're in the same business as they are, and we know that. It is tourism and the financial world. Would export very, very little bit Bermuda, and the same thing with us. Very, very small, but we didn't. I remember when there was one of the overseas territories ministers, a lady, her name, I think her Marins, and I toured her there some years ago, and she was the one saying when she came that there'll never be another Bermuda. Bermuda is unique, and there will never be another one like that, sort of telling us that. No one of us got up and said he's not a representative. And I guess they were cowed down by that, but one or two did say something, and we should push the envelope and see what they're going to say about it. But there are things we could do. We could get what Bermuda has, but we have to have the courage to go to Great Britain and tell them this is what we want now. We're on a different footing now. We have to.
But Britain would have to give us permission if the U.S. was willing to say Caymanians can come without a visa?
Immigration officers have long said to me they don't see why U.S. immigration officers and to other folks too, why you all need visas to come here and Great Britain doesn't have on your colony, they call it, or you're part of them, but the separate country and so forth. And you could easily get it, but your government has got to go to the U.S. Department of Interior, whatever it is with them, and ask for it. And I'm sure with the relationship we've had with the United States, a very close relationship. Everyone knows this.
Yeah, nobody from Cayman really is, anxious to migrate to the U.S.
Right, they know that.
They're not going to overstay and all that.
It's just the two people who come here and get the status and get a Cayman passport, and then they marry man and so forth, and they've got over there and disappear with it. But that's just a few minority. But the thing is, we have to push it to get it, and you can't.
Real quick, McKay. It's
yeah. Ministers of overseas territories come and go. Since her time, there have been so many. So we have to understand that. There's an excellent article in the papers written by the former President Robertson there about the role of micro-credentials. It would be worthwhile if you read it out and brought it up on your show, where you're talking about getting the right education for the right jobs and so forth. And it goes into that, and that's something the U.S. has been doing for years and years.
Well, listen, I gotta go.
Yeah, but take care.
If you want to hold on.
Yes, I'll hold on.
Okay, let's go to the news.
Covering Little Cayman Bride.
Cover me. Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market.
With your latest headlines, I'm Elizabeth Charles. The University College of the Cayman Islands says fall 2026 teacher education applications close August 28th. UCCI lists associate degrees in primary and early childhood education, a Bachelor of Science in primary education, and a postgraduate teaching certificate for people who already hold degrees. In international news, the Financial Times analysis says troubled loans at major private credit lending funds have reached their highest level since 2017. The newspaper found that loans on non-accrual status at the 20 largest publicly traded business development companies reached a median 2.8% of cost in the second quarter. This was up from 2% at the end of March. Non-accrual status can mean a borrower has stopped making payments or that a fund believes a borrower may soon default. The Financial Times says some large funds have recorded write-downs and warned of problem loans, but several industry executives say most loans continue to perform and describe current problems as isolated. In other news, the United States Supreme Court has rejected President Donald Trump's request to reconsider its June refusal to hear his E. Jean Carroll appeal. Reuters reports a 2023 jury found Trump liable for sexually abusing and defaming Carroll and awarded her $5 million. Those are the latest headlines. I'm Elizabeth Charles.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and let's get a weather update here. We do have a small craft advisory in effect, and taking a look at the current conditions, it's 91 degrees here in Georgetown, feels like 109, and the winds coming out of the southeast, and the winds have picked up. It's now almost almost 10 knots out of the southeast. Relative humidity, 70%. And the synopsis is calling for a tropical wave, which was formerly designated Invest 92L, has moved into the Western Caribbean. That was one of those that we thought had some potential for development, but that has moved into the Western Caribbean this morning. And it will continue to influence weather conditions across the region throughout today. Increased moisture associated with the system will support generally cloudy skies, with showers and thunderstorms expected to develop during the afternoon, particularly across Grand Cayman. And the forecast for tonight: partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers and possible thunder. Temperatures will fall near the low 80s. Winds out of the east to northeast at 5 to 10 knots. Seas running at 3 to 5 feet. And yes, we do have that small craft advisory, and that means small craft should exercise caution over open waters, especially along the southern and eastern coasts. So be cautious if you're out there in open waters. Looking at the tides, the next low is at 7:16 this evening. Sunset at 6:50, and the outlook calls for continued improvement in general weather conditions through late Tuesday. Thereafter, drier and more settled conditions are expected to prevail. Let's go straight back to the phones. Mickey has been standing by there. Mickey is still there?
Yes, Charlo. What this article is about, this role of micro-credentials and so forth, that you'd be more focused on an exact aspect of what can help you in your job, in your seeking a job, and what you want to focus on, instead of just a broad thing of saying a MS degree and this and that. I remember there's a guy with that worked with me there when I was helping to run a big car wash on Biscayne Boulevard, late 70s, early 80s, very early. And he had a base degree in economics, and he was just the part-time there as a cashier and all that. And that time, the point-of-sale computers were coming in very popular, and that's what everyone was using. And I remember at the end of the day, that I helped them, try and help them, reconcile everything together, the cash and what they call a bank, we call it a float, and get everything.
Got a balance.
This is really a balance sheet, what you're preparing here. And he didn't know what that was. And I said, but Rick, you've got a PS in economics. You should know what a balance sheet is, from your general ledger, a little bit of accounting I knew. And I've always been able to handle that. And your journal entries and different things like that put together, and then you have a balance sheet. And that's what it was doing at the end of the day, X reading and a Z reading. About. He said, no. I said, then how did you know? He said, no, nothing about. He did a course in what he liked to doodle and draw little things and on a piece of paper and stuff like that in spare time. And this is what he majored in, and it went towards his degree.
But he had a degree in economics.
Yes, and he didn't know the balance sheet or nothing like that. So the same thing can happen with people coming here and all that with this. But the point is, what this gentleman is making in this article is that you focus on one thing that you the particular thing, and that would take up your time. The universities are moving towards this type of education that specify you're going to be an accountant, you're going to be an auditor, or whatever it is. But if you focus on just one aspect of things, that can help you, and then the other guy would focus on that and so forth. But anyway, have a good day, Charles. Someone else may have some ideas about it.
All right, good to hear from you, Mickey. Yeah, we're coming down the home stretch now. We got about 20 minutes or so left in the show, so if want to get in on the calls, get in on the conversation, you welcome to do that. And of course, the numbers to call are 1-800-534-8255, courtesy of Flow. You can also reach the studio on 949-8037, 949-6990, and on WhatsApp 925-3261. And talking about people preparing themselves, what Mickey was talking about there. The big thing is to, become a lawyer or, an accountant. But you don't have to do that to make a good living in these days. I mean, people specialize in a lot of things. I was listening to a guy who, his name fails me right now, Mike somebody, but he used to have that show on TV about all these different dirty work that people used to do and, make a good living at it. And actually he formed a foundation to give people scholarships to go and get trained in the trades. And that's something that, people need to pay more attention to. Maybe you're not cut out to be a lawyer or an accountant, but you can make good money in the trades. And he was saying that two of his scholarship recipients, they went into being electricians. They've come out of their training now, been working for a few years, and as electricians, they are actually making upwards to $250,000 a year. Yeah, I mean, you can make a good living in the trades. I've said it more than once on here, and in the Cayman of today, all that we see going on takes people that have, skills and knowledge in the trades. And because the infrastructure is what's needed to keep, things going, right? Things break, they have to be repaired. All the construction that we see going on, well, there's electricity going into those buildings, not just cement, and learning the higher end of construction is also, very lucrative. And you don't, because you're not cut out to be, a college graduate or go to law school, become a CPA, an accountant. There are things that people can go into that are lucrative, right? And in this brave new world that is Cayman in 2026, if you're going to take advantage of the opportunities that present themselves out there, you have to prepare yourself. There was a time in Cayman that even in the financial industry, people could get in on the ground floor and work themselves up. There were a lot of people that they really didn't have any training. They just had the initiative and the intelligence that they could get a job in a bank and just out of their own natural intelligence, their ambition, their drive, they were able to climb the ladder. But today's a whole different ball game. You know, there are scholarships out there that probably aren't even being taken up that would allow people to prepare themselves, train themselves to be a part of this new Cayman. And that's what we have to inspire our young people, get the education. Without the education, you're not going to be prepared to take advantage of the opportunities that this new Cayman is offering. And as much as we hear people talking about, Caymanians can't get the job. I believe that if you are qualified and you really want it, you can get it. It's like that old Jimmy Cliff song, You can get it if you really want. But you have to have something to show when you walk in the door that says, I'm prepared for this. I can do this job. In today's world, just being willing to give it a try doesn't cut it. People don't have time for that anymore. You have, when you go into a job, you have to be able to hit the ground running. Not to say that you can't start working and, still get an education as you work, because that's what UCCI is there for. I've known people who they went to school at night, worked in the day, but over time they were able to earn themselves, master's degree. They didn't stay where they started. They had a goal. They worked towards it and chipped away at it. And you got to have, that hunger inside of you to, go to work 8 hours a day and leave the job and go on campus and do another few hours of classroom work, and then also study for a test, right? But it can be done. People do it all the time. And that is the secret of this, that people prepare themselves. Because without the education, without the training, whether it's, a college level, whether it's trade schools, you can progress. And this modern Cayman offers people the opportunity to do a lot of things that, was not there before. Even in the sciences, that the hospitals that we now have in Cayman, the kind of medical treatment that we do, and you don't necessarily have to be a doctor. You can be, some kind of technician. The person who's doing the test, the person who's running those X-ray machines. There's so many aspects of, of medicine that have all these different opportunities for people who are willing to go after it. And that's one thing that we really need to push young people to do. High school is not enough. High school is not enough to get yourself a job that you're going to go forward on. It might get you a dead-end job, but not a job that you can progress and keep climbing the ladder. Again, I go back to the statistics when I had the people from the Economics and Statistics Office in here, and we were talking about who is it that is unemployed. And I found it very interesting that, this is not a stat that is widely quoted. You don't see it listed as an item. At least I haven't. And when economic statistics and about employment and unemployment is released, but over 70% of the people who are unemployed have no further training than a high school education. And then you have to even ask, well, how many passes do these people have? You know, that they can't even get a job with any kind of high school education, right? In this modern world, you know, a world of computers and artificial intelligence, you have to have more than just, you know, that high school diploma. And just looking at what's available here in Cayman, well, there is construction, you know, but do you want to be a laborer the rest of your life? You know, not even a skilled craftsman? Because that's where, in construction, you know, that's where the real money's made, right? Those guys that, and even gals these days, that's where the money is. If you got a skill, if you don't have the skill, you know, you're at the end of the line, right? And when you're at the end of the line, you know, you're not going to be going very far. You're not going to be able to get the kind of home that you might dream of. So parents, aunts and uncles, you know, tell those young people to go after, you know, training, education. Those are the keys of taking advantage of the opportunities that a modern Cayman has. And using a computer for more than just going to Instagram or, you know, looking up something. That's where you should be. That's why you should be learning about a computer. You know, is how to be productive with it. And because almost everywhere you go, there's one of those there, whether it's an office or some working environment. You got to be able to handle a computer. You know, even in a place like car repair, you know, having that good general knowledge, but look at where car repair has gone now for modern cars, right? You can hook up a computer to it and get an analysis of what's wrong. But even so, I'm always amazed that you go to get something done to your car, you take it to the garage, and how many times do I see a Caymanian mechanic? As much as our guys like cars and all of that, you take your car in to get something done to it, chances are it's going to be a non-Caymanian who works on it. And that kind of skill is something that's very attainable. Well, we got about 5 minutes left in the show, so let's take this call here. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Afternoon, Mr. Chalo, Mario.
Hi, Mario.
And I'll say, Mario, you might, because there's another Mario that calls in as well that I want to make sure that he and I keep separate, although we have similar views at times. I just want to that's why I give my name my call.
Get the ID straight.
Sometimes I might get some high fives for him. Sometimes I get some thumbs down, and probably vice versa. So that's why I give my name. But he's a good guy. He's a good guy with good ideas as well. Which we need to have a lot of intellectual capital in the country. People talking about solutions and ideas. So
yeah,
I always promote that. And
exchange of ideas.
That's why I like your show as well. Others, for the record as well. That talks about issues. I know that you need a little company, so I just want to give you a couple of minutes.
Sure, you can have the last word today.
Okay, fine. That's good for a change. I've seen a lot of road works being done, a lot of blacktop being, a lot of Barbara Green, as you used to call it, being done, and for the most part that's good. I don't know how we're able to afford that nowadays with the cost of petroleum going up, but a lot of Barbara Green, a lot of blacktop being done on the road.
It's not even an election year.
Not even an election year, exactly. But what I hope is happening is that we also are having a situation where they speak to the utilities before they're doing that blacktopping.
Yeah.
Utilities being the electrical company, or not electrical company, the
water,
telephone company, water and sewage and stuff, and making sure that before the blacktopping is done, that they're advised, so in case they have any other plans of doing it, cutting up the roads, they do it before and not after the blacktop is done. I hope that's being done, because it'd be a shame to spend good money and even extra money now that we can save and put aside for a rainy day. But even worse, if you spend it and a few months later you have roads being cut up again for putting in works of utilities that could have been done as part of that overall plan. I know several years ago, I was doing some consulting several years ago for the National Roads Authority, and there was talk about putting together a kind of directory of everything that's underneath the surface of the roads, so that you'll have, what's there, and in the event of any kind of work or any emergencies, you would know that you can't cut certain areas because you got, you got lines in there, and you had these sort of danger signs, and also danger notices above the actual lines to prevent people cutting into it. I don't know if that's been done. I don't know if that directory has been done, but it was talked about. And again, that's something that we need to do as part of our development. It is not yet done. But my point to you today, sir, is I hope that they're planning these road works with all the utilities involved, and you don't have cutting up the roads afterwards. And if it's done, charge them full price and some for restoration of the road to its original condition before they did their cutting, etc.
Well, thanks for that. Thanks for that point.
Yes, and I know you'll ruminate on it, and you will take it forward as necessary. So I thank you for your time too, and my time is up. And have a good afternoon.
Thanks for the call.
May God protect us in this hurricane season and keep everything safe and hunky-dory for us as we hope and pray.
Indeed. Thanks for calling. Yeah, that is something that has always annoyed me too. You get a nice, smooth road, and then here comes the water company or somebody else. They cut it, and they can never get it back the way that they found it. They do their best to smooth it out, but still got that little bump there. It's 2:30, and that means my time is up. Thank you all for calling in. Thank you all for listening in. I'm Charles Glidden. One love.
Freedom, Cayman Brack. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Cineco's parametric insurance after hurricanes is now available for motor policies. Fixed automatic payouts cover incidental vehicle expenses like fuel, cleanup, and minor repairs. No claims, no damage required. $200 for comprehensive policies or $100 for third-party policies. Available exclusively through Cineco and included with all new motor insurance policies and upon renewal for current policies. Visit Cineco.ky today. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Radio